Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to be taking a look at the 2001 Toyota Prius. Stay with us. Alright everybody, so the Toyota Prius, you know, this is one of the first generations that came to the marketplace here in the United States of America many years ago. The batteries on this car last anywhere from 15 to 20 years. Maybe even 10 to 15, maybe even, I don't freaking know. Hold on, time out a minute. Okay everybody, the Toyota Prius, this particular one came out in the year 2001. It was one of the first generations of this car to be sold in America. You know, people always have talked about having vehicles that get great fuel economy, and Toyota's definitely got it down pretty tight with the Prius, and still they're on the road even today. Now back in 2001, if you bought a Toyota Prius brand spanking new, you could average anywhere between 15 to 20 years on the battery life on this car. Now you say, Chad, what is the fuel economy on a Prius? Well, you're talking 52 miles to the gallon on the highway and around 45 in the city. Back in 2001, that absolutely blew people's minds, and it was just, hey, let me get down to the Toyota store and buy a Prius super fast. But anyways, today we're going to walk through the car, check it out, see how the vehicle has held up all these years. We're pretty much pushing 20 years now on this car, so let's see how the condition is. Today the vehicle's being sold for around $1,950. This might be a jam up deal for you, but you won't know unless you continue watching. Stay with us. All right, everybody. Well, Merry Christmas. You know, it's the holiday season, and with that being said, it feels kind of festive in here. It's nice and warm and chilly. If the car only made a cup of joe or maybe a little chocolate cocoa or something, it would make it even better. But what it does make is for a clean environment, and that's what seems to be the big deal with buying a Prius. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop in and get this car down the road here and see how it drives. And then when we get to our location, we're going to get out and we're going to take a look at the vehicle and see how well the body and everything is held up on it. So anyways, now the car is very quiet on the inside, you'll notice, and believe it or not, it is running, okay? That's just how a Prius goes, and most of y'all watching pretty much know that stuff. Today we're going to give a big shout out to our cameraman that's working with us on the film shoot of the Prius, and his name is Nick, and Nick is a viewer of Charleston Car videos, lives here in Charleston, and came out to hang out a little bit with us today. So I put old Nick to work. But anyways, let's have a little fun. Let's take a ride and see what the Prius is all about. Now one thing we're going to do is we're going to be quiet while pulling out the store so we can hear everything going on. We're going to roll our window down, and I'm going to give it a little gas and let y'all hear the engine and all that stuff. So here we go. Acceleration feels good. It is a Cvt transmission on this car, so you will not really feel the shift from first to second to third to fourth, which gives it really a real electric kind of car feel, which I guess it is kind of half electric, half gas. Not bad though. Once you get up to speed around 50 miles an hour, you know, again, it's not like a car that's going to have tons of horsepower and torque and all that. It's not a Tesla by any means, okay? But the main key with this car is getting good fuel economy and getting around town and easy to park. It's just a tiny little car. So it does have its wear and tear, and you know, it's definitely got some age on it. And when we get to the gas station up here, we're going to show you that. Alright everybody, we made it to our destination, the Quick Stop gas station. It definitely is extremely loud out here with all the 18-wheeler trucks and traffic during the holiday season. But come on over. You know, now that it's the year 2018, getting ready to roll into 2019 in just a few weeks, Hybrid vehicles have definitely made their way into the marketplace here in the United States. And back in '01, it was kind of rare to see another hybrid just sitting there at the gas station when you pulled in. But even out in the country of Ravenel, South Carolina, there's a Honda Clarity sitting right here, and then we're pulling up in the old school Prius. This is pretty interesting.
Miles go and I come back.
So, okay, so you drive back 2 days. Everybody, what they're saying is 2 days they get out of their Honda here, they plug it in. How long does it take to charge up usually?
All night.
All night while y'all sleep, the car's charging.
Yeah.
Then you can drive it 2 days, and then like tonight you'll go home and charge it up again.
Yeah,
okay.
It's Saturday.
Okay, okay. Wow. That's pretty cool. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Then you got it. But
you have not had to.
I never used it. Yes.
Okay. And what year is this one? 2018?
I could just now buy. It's around 2 months.
Brand new. Wow, that's pretty. How much does one of these cost now?
Car cost of different. And I go Maryland and I pick up on it. So 3,000 difference.
$32,000.
Yeah.
It's
a
3,000 more to Rick Hendrick.
Yeah. Here only 3,000 more.
It's something from Maryland.
Maryland.
Okay, so you got a better deal.
The LED running lights, I like that.
The LED running lights?
Yeah. Daytime running lights, I like that.
Oh,
but it's a cost too much here. LED light cost too much here, okay?
I know, right.
How much did you pay for it?
He said 32,000.
32,000.
Yeah, it's he got it 3,000 less than buying it at Rick Hendrick Honda.
Here high price here. City, Charleston City high price here. Not broke, okay? Here flat and a vehicle with here having. And it's $600 cost.
$600.
And it's $600.
$2,600 to place the bumper.
No bumper, no place. Little bit sketch having. Little
right
bit.
there.
On a little bit here sketch.
His headlight was $1,800.
Yes. And this one everything labor and it's $600.
Okay, wow. He's gonna get the key and let us see the headlights light up today.
We're gonna show everybody.
All right, we got a little confused in the beginning of the video, everybody, but this is actually a plug-in hybrid. He paid $32,000 for this vehicle up in Maryland, okay, which is far from Charleston, to get a good deal. He has family up that way. $32,000 in Maryland. That was $3,000 less than going to Rick Hendrick Honda here in Charleston. So don't tell me people will not travel to go buy a brand new car and get a better deal, because he drove it back to Charleston from Maryland. But he's going to let us see the car a little bit today. And it's a 2000 and I believe it's a 2018, maybe a 2019. But someone scratched his headlight up out here, and he had to spend $1,800 to fix it.
Yeah, everything automatic here, okay? Okay. I know that I'm coming here. So touch to open door. My key where you do.
So
this is
it's a 2019, 2018 or 2019?
just now 2 months.
I mean, is it a year model? Is it a 2018?
18.
18, okay. Okay.
Just now buy. And automatic, everything is automatic here. I know touch automatic door lock, open.
Everything.
I know only this one touching. To open only. I'm going inside the automatic lock up door.
Oh, okay. It automatically opens and unlocks. Okay.
And this one.
Come on, stay close. Yeah.
This one.
So you can hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's enjoying doing this with us. Wow, what a beautiful car, everyone. All digital.
Other one have any. This one have any.
Oh wow, look at that.
No gear only. This is automatic have everything. This is push on the button to move on the car. See? No noise inside, no noise, anything, no.
Very quiet interior, everybody.
Yeah, inside quiet.
Oh, I love it. Very peaceful.
And this is light front side and turn it light.
Okay, let's go take a look at the headlights, everyone.
He already and turn it.
Only has around 3,000 miles. He's owned it for 2 months now. Extremely happy is what he says. And actually, they still off.
Look, 1 minute.
Okay. You have your LEDs right here. Okay, and I'm sure the headlight is probably all LED. Nick, get a good shot of this right up in here for us. Yeah, just here. See, sometimes. See how that right there? You get in there like that. Yeah. That's why I got that handle right there.
The car keeps turning on.
Well, it's electric, you know. when you I know it's a little loud out here, but when you buy the car, do they give you a kit to plug it up into the wall at the house, or does it plug in right into a regular outlet?
No, regular plug.
Okay, it's a regular plug.
Yeah, home regular plug.
Okay, so to charge it.
Charger.
Okay, you don't have to have any kind of kit.
No. That's my wall, my home wall charger. I'm putting to working only.
Just a normal wall charger in the
Normal
house.
wall charger.
That's interesting.
On this, otherwise I'm driving. This one driving to yellow line, yeah, white line touching. To here sign coming.
Okay.
There's a vibration this side having.
Lane keep assist.
Yeah.
Lane keep assist. Okay.
Little bit touch only white line, yellow light to steering. This one going.
Okay. That's cool.
And everything watch it here in this one.
Yes.
Car watch only, real watch it. Front side car to watch. Sometimes I drop to little bit slow.
Yeah.
Automatic slow here any car.
Okay, when you pull off at the stoplight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for letting us look at your car today, sir.
Okay.
I know. Thank you. Thank
Alright.
you. I know. I'm gonna come back and give you my business card.
Okay.
Yeah, I like how this is here.
It's a real food heaven. It is a cutting to real food heaven.
Yeah, it's really an interesting look. Yeah. So gasoline goes here,
Yeah, just plugging here.
and you plug right
It's a
there.
ear plug heaven. 1 minute.
Okay. Okay.
You got a plugging here.
Okay, just like that. Okay, and it plugs in the same at the house. Okay.
Same house here. Plugging. Like only car and like here. Real good here car.
It's a good looking car.
18s too.
Yeah. Really pretty.
Tire theater here.
Also, guys, it has your cameras on the mirrors. It's got the cameras on the mirror, so you can see what's going on when you're trying to get over.
Rear camera.
Yeah.
Camera.
Pretty cool. All right, everybody. So that was really interesting getting to talk with a man that owns the Honda Clarity there. But now let's get back into looking at our Toyota Prius, right? This is definitely a totally different type of vehicle in a sense, just the size of it and all, which everybody watching totally understands that. But let's take a look at the condition, see how well the car's held up. Now, as I was telling our camera guy earlier today, you know, it's so important to really keep a car waxed and clean and everything, because after years and years go by, the paint on a car can definitely start to chip, the clear coat starts coming off, and oxidation starts coming into play. And this is a great example of that. Let's go ahead and show you. So we got our headlights are oxidized. They definitely need cleaning, but the situation you have going on here, folks, is the oxidation has gotten so bad where now these headlights are definitely going to have to be sanded down and probably re-clear coated to make them in better. The hood has also started to get its fair share of chipping going on with the clear coat, okay? So you're seeing that the paint is starting to chip away, things like that. Now, please, you must understand, folks, that this car is only being sold for $19.50. So some people are going to be like, oh, I don't like that a whole lot, right? Well, we're selling it to you for less than $2,000. So you're more than welcome to take it and get it repainted yourself after purchasing it and make it look like a new car. Let's go ahead and let our camera guy roll through and just get a good look at the vehicle on the outside. So we got damage right here. Our wheels have, this is not rust, but it's corrosion that have got onto the wheels, which I guess probably is rust in a sense, because they're not metal, they're an alloy. So alloys start doing that. Now back up, right, there we go, all right. Also, you know, so you saw those wheels just now, right? The alloys are starting to get that corrosion on there, so that lets you know that maybe this car was in the snow, or maybe it was near down here in the south where hurricanes come and maybe flooding and all that. So maybe the car was in some heavy water or snow. Let's take a look at the back of the car real quick. So as we keep moving through the rear of the vehicle, you know, the whole car with the paint has definitely had its wear and tear, but Obviously something's going on here where you have Gorilla Glue that was holding on a license plate at some point, and that's why we don't have a license plate on the car today. The next thing I'm going to point out to you is right on the other side of the car. It's got some pretty heavy rust that is starting to eat away at the body of the vehicle. Let me go ahead and show you that. Okay, so right here is the first part. You can see where the rust has really started to get into the car right there. But we're going to show you right here on this fender well, which is really important. Nick, you're going to have to kind of pivot this way. Here, let me see. Right up in here, you got rust. It's pretty bad. I mean, when it's chipping off like that, that's you got a rust problem, okay? And it's eating all the way through here. So what you're wanting to pay attention to and what you want to think about before buying this car is, how many more years do I really have out of this car, right? It's already 20 years old. It's starting to rust. How much time do we really have? That's the question. All right, everybody, we're back inside the Prius, and we're gonna go ahead and crank her up. I think it's been sitting here running, but it's so quiet.
You'd think it was off.
You would think it's off, and you know the Honda over there. That was one of the things that man seemed to really point out, was that it's so quiet inside of his car. And I mean, Nick, what did you think of the actual Hyundai, or the Honda over there? What was your first thoughts on it when you saw it?
Yeah, I think you wouldn't really be able to tell it's a hybrid aside from the badge that says it's a hybrid on it. I mean, the way it looks very sculpted. It looks really expensive. Mm-hmm. Things that you wouldn't associate with a hybrid, for example. Right.
And now have you ever been inside of an older Prius like this before?
Nope, this is my first time.
Now, what is your thoughts on this car right now?
Interior wise, it's not really. You wouldn't really think it's a 2001. I mean, yeah, it looks a little bit
like just worn out.
It has a little bit of wear in it, but
right.
Quality wise, everything is still there. Everything fits
true
nicely.
That's a good point you bring up, right? Even though, yeah,
finish is good for a car that's almost 20 years old.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, right. Other than, I mean, yes, it is worn down, but a little bit, like on the steering wheel here, you got this, and you know, these are things you can fix or put a cover on. But you're right. I mean, realistically here, yeah, the fit and finish, the craftsmanship of the car has still lasted 20 years later. Yeah,
comfortable too.
Right, because I've been in some American vehicles and been like, oh my, this car's, you know, it's missing the panels and things are breaking and the handles are breaking and
seatbelts are worn through.
Right, this not as much. I mean, of course, you know, a little 3M glue could fix that there, but like a Dodge Durango where the buttons were all broken off and you couldn't roll your windows down. That to me is either what, cheap parts on a car or what? What are you thinking there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
they cheapen out on the parts just to make the vehicle affordable.
Right. And then, then all these years later, it's got issues, and it's going to cost the next person that possibly owns it quite a few dollars to fix. It's called passing the, not passing the savings on to you, but passing what? Passing the, let's think about that for a moment. Passing the deterioration on to you, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways. Passing the torch on to
like
you.
The Olympics, yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly, guys. Something like that. You got two car nuts in the car here today. So, acceleration. I love to drive the Clarity.
Speedometer too. I did not expect to see a digital speedometer in the 2001 Toyota Prius. That's for sure.
Right. Now, this doesn't seem, is it lit up or, oh, there we go. Look at that. Still working. That's the engine monitor. I think one thing that kind of concerned me with this car is when we looked online, it said it had a Cvt transmission.
Yes.
I've noticed with Nissans, they had a lot of problems with them. Tell us a little bit of knowledge you know about that, Nick.
Yeah, so in general, if you look at the long-term reliability of most continuously variable transmissions, or CVTs, one of the things they're notorious for is lack of long-term reliability, or after a while it starts starts to cost you money to have to pay to get the CVT fixed in your car. And that can even get to, you'll over time you could end up paying half the price of the car sometimes.
Right.
That you paid initially just to fix the CVT.
Now, one thing I'm noticing, Nick, though, this CVT in here feels great.
It does.
It shifts just fine if you want to. Yeah, I have no issues with it at all, folks. So to be a 2001, the question today on the video, which this video series is called, Would You Buy This Car? You know, we're going to ask Mr. Nick today, pass the torch on to him, if he would buy this car. Now, Nick, I want you to, don't consider anything like, oh, what I drive now, this, that, and the other. I just want to, if you had $2,000 today to buy a car, would you buy this car?
Honestly, the answer in my case would be yes. I would buy this car. Yes,
Okay.
There's a few cosmetic things, but those can be touched up pretty easily and without too much effort from you or your wallet.
Great answer, and I would 100% agree with what Nick just stated. I'd buy this car as well. There's a lot of cars I've seen, and man, it's starting to get hot in here, but there's a lot of cars I've seen over the last several weeks and months working here for $2,000, and I'd say this little Prius here is a great little car for that kind of price. All right, everybody, we appreciate you watching the video with us today. Like, comment, and subscribe as usual, and let us know what your thoughts are about the Prius. And if you live out of town or in town and you're interested in buying it, just contact me, and I will definitely work out you a great deal today on the Toyota Prius. We'll see you soon. Cool to see.
I don't know what those things are for.
That's a tape deck, man. That's like me saying, what's an 8-track? That's a tape deck, you know, like that was what before CDs were, you know. And one thing you notice too on the Prius, Toyota, man, they do a good job on fit and finish and craftsmanship. The buttons are in good shape still. You still see everything on them. They're not all worn out.
Being cheap and stuff.
But they last, you know. Let's see if the horn sounds like. Horn sounds great.
You can't say that about some American products, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing we'll point out to you today too is, you know, the pedal down there, as we talk about on cars, the pedal is not all worn out on this vehicle. I mean, it's got its wear and tear. It's an 01, but it's definitely not down to the metal like we've seen. And the floor down there also is not, yeah, exactly. You know, we always want to show our this, and as you can see, the seatbelt's not all frayed. This most likely was more of a highway city mile car, but
The wear on the inside is, for the most part, minimal.
yeah, it is pretty minimal. It's not been smoked in. It doesn't have any nasty cigarette smells. No nicotine up on the roof. Yeah, definitely not a smoker vehicle. Before we go, we will pop the hood real quickly here and see what's going on under there. Let's do that real quick. All right, everybody, Nick's going to pop the hood for us. I got it popped. All you got to do is just unlatch it there. And Nick's going to show you the engine and tell you a little bit what he's learned from his first time doing some information reviewing on the Prius. So it should be, Nick, it should be right up under there. Yep, there we go. And you can tell Mr. Chad's been up under a hood one too many times. But now, what we do notice here is it's dirty, right? And a lot of times people don't detail or clean under the hoods of cars because they're scared that water could mess something up. And I wouldn't hate on them for that. Yeah, because you know, you got, let's see if we can find our little stick somewhere under here. There we go. The pop rod, as Mr. Nick says, which where does the rod connect to? Somewhere under here, which is kind of, hold on, Nick, we got to come.
Put it in the...
Right there. Okay, so there's that. All right, we're good to go now. So Nick, tell us what engine size do you got under here?
So here we have a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine powering the front wheels, most likely.
Wow. Go ahead. So 1.5 liter or 1.4?
1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder.
Okay. And I love you. Okay. That's just a small little engine, isn't it?
Yep.
Right. Now, where would the batteries be at under this car, Nick? All All right, everybody, our SD card died out a moment ago, and I don't know how long ago it died, but anyways, the batteries in the back, me and Nick have been kind of looking around back here. You got your traditional battery there to crank the car with, okay? And then your hybrid batteries sit under here. Trying to kind of show y'all, but right up in there you can see a little bit. Those batteries sit right up under that metal plate there. Now, according to our research we did online, Nick, how long do these batteries usually last for?
So the batteries for a 2001 Toyota Prius, generally we've seen them lasting anywhere from 15-20 years.
Okay, 15 to 20 years. You know, you're probably looking at anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 possibly to replace those batteries from the research I've done on hybrid cars, which really isn't a large investment to keep this car running for another 20 plus years.